It's through.
This is the day.
We are here with the first ever episode of.
Queen's Arsenal.
I'm so excited, Fran. You want to tell me a little about yourself?
Of course, guys. I am Raya on the ones and twos. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, oh, are you?
I just, I'm here because I feel like we have a lot to say.
We do.
And I think we got a lot of experience. And for the people that like credentials, we got those too. Certified life coach, advocate of mental health. We love that here.
We do.
And just a scholar of life, honestly.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Man, if you're not learning always, what are you doing?
Wasting time.
Okay.
Wasting
Very true.
time. Yeah.
I am Ash. My lovely co-host is here with me. Again, a certified life coach. I am a mother, lover, artist, a little bit of a hater. No, I'm joking. Also a certified life coach, mental health advocate, and author. I always forget that.
Yes, author.
I always forget that I have a book,
It's okay. We got it now.
but it is out there. And we are here today to bring you some stuff. What we got, friend? What you feeling?
Girl.
How's the day treating you? Let's start with that. Let's start with the check-in and see, like,
Right.
where are
We
Where
got to
are
check in. Today, I am operating in my purpose.
Mm.
Yeah. Today was very busy for me. I had to work. I then had to do my acting class. It was great. It was great. Shout out to Chic Studios. But yeah, it was great. And I feel good to be in alignment with my purpose. I feel good to be here, present, and rooted in this moment.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Can't really ask for more.
What about you?
I am good. I'm in alignment. That's where I'm trying to be all the time. You know,
Yeah.
I want to be at homeostasis, but with trajectory. You know what I mean?
We love that.
Like we got somewhere we trying to go, but we're enjoying it. What do they say? If you're depressed, you're in the past. If you're anxious, you're in the future. If you're in the present, you're at peace. So,
Baby,
right here, right
run
now.
it back.
You're-
That was
No.
a good one. That was a good one. Y'all run it back, okay?
Yes, so
that
I'm
was a
in a
good
good
one. I'm going to have to
space.
keep that one in the Rolodex.
Yes, I am right where I need to be.
Yeah,
Right where I need
yeah.
to be.
I concur,
You know,
100%.
It's like you get to spaces in your life where you just kind of feel just kind of just uncomfortable. Like you feel that discomfort.
I like
that
discomfort
unsettled.
a little bit.
Do you?
Yeah.
Mm.
We'll talk about that another.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of? No, it's okay.
Just discomfort, like in a sense of, discomfort, it helps you grow.
It does.
I'm all about growth and expansion. So instead of me being uncomfortable with the uncomfortable, I choose to embrace it.
Yes.
When I'm uncomfortable, and I be mad about it, don't get me wrong. I be
That's true.
complaining. Like, ugh, I don't want to do this. But then I got to be like, reprogram my brain and be like, after you're through this, babe, things are going to be better, way better.
Ooh, and I feel like the more you do that, the more you go through that process of getting to that space where, like, because first is acknowledging I'm uncomfortable, right?
Yeah.
Which takes that's a new evolution. Like
Right.
you got to get to a space where you feel like you can even acknowledge it. Because a lot of times when we get uncomfortable, we immediately try to pull it away.
Go.
You know,
Get away from me.
We gotta try to.
It's like a
disassociate.
plague.
Exactly. So when you can sit in your discomfort, that's like level 1.
Yeah.
But
When you
feel-
can acknowledge it, that's level 1.
Right.
Yeah.
When you can
Yeah.
even see it. That
Yeah,
it's there
if
before
you
you're
know
like,
this
no.
cover instead of you just moaning and moaning like, "Mommy, what?" It's my brother for me. My brother, I'm gonna quote my brother. He be like, "I can't win for losing."
Oh my goodness.
Baby, I hate that statement.
Man,
Like,
he
what
got
is win for
quotes
losing?
for days.
What is win for losing? But yeah, speaking of discomfort though, friend,
I'm listening.
I want to get into what we talking about today.
Because isn't it uncomfortable?
Oh, baby. I want to talk about fear, specifically fear
Okay.
of failure.
Oof.
Yeah.
Child.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weighty.
Okay.
It's weighty. We're going to get
got it
into
today.
it. We're going to move through it. We're going to embrace it, and we're going to talk through it. I think we should do that.
I think I'm here for it. Okay. So when I think about like fear of failure, for me personally, I think of, like that. It's just like you're afraid of what's on the other side.
Ooh.
It's not, I'm scared that I can't do it. It's not necessarily, I don't think I can't do it. but it's what if I do it and people don't like it? You know, it's that Erykah Badu. I'm an artist, so I'm sensitive about my shit.
Baby,
like I don't
I
want.
feel that.
You know what I mean?
Because I am.
I
I truly am. Don't make me cry when
I-
I'm giving you my raw,
But
uncut, authentic self.
you know how I feel about crying these days, baby. Cathartic. I will weep. But that I love a good cry.
Sorrows, prayers, prayers.
But yes, like it's that fear that the thing that you do, it's fear of how that thing you do is going to be perceived. How is that going to be received on the other side? And that a lot of the times keeps us, I mean, obviously from doing the thing, but even seeing the alignment. Like a lot of times when you have these blockages, these fears or whatever standing in your way of doing the thing you're supposed to do, you're doing yourself a disservice because people need you. They need you to show up.
Well,
People
friend,
are waiting
I
on you.
kind of want to challenge you a little bit.
Okay.
Make it personal.
Yeah,
Yeah, because right now you're just like, this is what could, this is what can't.
You want to know for me?
I want to know for you, what is fear of failure for Ash?
Ooh, see, I mean, you know, I have a bit of a God complex, so I don't have any fear about my ability to be successful. I fully know that, you know, I'm a future icon. That's not a problem for me.
Okay.
However, I worry a lot, not so much about how people are going to perceive it, but I'm a perfectionist. So every time I do something,
That's a limiting belief, by the way.
Tell them, tell me,
I'm gonna be dropping little gems off topic.
tell me I'm a perfectionist.
But on topic, yeah.
So when it comes to me, I'm always looking back at things I've done, like, dang, I could have done this different. Dang, this could have been so much better. And then I will guilt myself or like I'm judging myself. It's like I'm not worried about other people judging me, but I'm so critical of myself.
Internalized.
It is. So
Okay.
I'll prolong something for, so look at where we are now. Like, how long have we been talking about doing this? How long?
For those of you that know us,
How long?
we be like, yeah, we got a podcast.
I'm like,
Where's
where
the
can we find
episode?
you in our minds?
Where is it? It's right there. But they say you have to get it out your mind, speak it out, and then the universe
Absolutely.
starts attracting things,
So
bringing
that's
it
for
to
me.
you.
For me, I'm always, I feel like I can do it better, which is true, but also just like, just do it. Do it and tweak it and do it better next time.
Yeah, that
Like, do it better next time. You can always do it again. You can always do it better, but you got to do it.
A word.
Or it's nothing to do better.
that's a word.
Y'all.
Amen.
But what about you? How do you feel?
Fear of failure for me. You know, when we were talking about this episode, I said I was going to hold what I had to say.
Okay. All right now.
Just because we have to be genuine.
We do.
So this podcast, specifically Queen's Arsenal, guys, I'm going to be real. Shit, I might cry a little bit.
Okay.
I need a tissue. So
We need a box.
Listen, so this podcast between you and I has been something that we've been talking about, and you know, our relationship, it has its ebbs and flows,
It
right?
does.
It's ups and downs, like different day. Regardless of that fact, though, I found myself reflecting on what our purpose was with each other. Like, why do we fall out and then we go right back in like we never fell out? Because that speaks volumes to me.
It does.
Despite the anger, disappointment, hurt, whatever, whenever we fall out, we find ourselves back in this space. So
Just
this
the two
time,
of us.
I was convinced that I was like, you know, no, we probably not going to be friends. I love her dearly, but I just don't think we mesh well, you know? I just don't think we mesh well. By the way, we've been knowing each other for how many years?
Girl, 12?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Right.
So ebb and flow, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one of the fears was, oh my God, we're about to jump into this endeavor together that's going to be very impactful to the people that come across it. And that's a serious thing.
It's a commitment.
It's a commitment.
It's a responsibility.
And so I was like, well, what happens if we fall out? Girl, fear. We got to come to work and we ain't talked in 3 months.
All we do at work is talk.
You'll feel all of that tension. Like, I was like, Dad, I don't know.
Dang.
I remember when we were in the beginnings of it and we were trying to like do schedules and meeting. And I remember one time you came over and you were late. And I was like, no.
For those of y'all who don't know, we are very much, no pun intended, yin and yang. Like, it, just like the sign looks, it's the personalities. She is very timely. She's very methodical. She's a pattern person. I am not.
She goes with the wind. Sharpay, if you will.
So the fact that we've been able to even have a relationship as long as we have, I
It
think
speaks
is
volumes,
powerful.
which is why I'm coming to the point.
Okay. Tell 'em.
So that fear was like a big fear, so much so that I was like, we won't do it. Like, I had made up in my mind. I didn't say nothing to you because I was like processing it, right? Yeah. But then I had to battle with myself. And I was like, ugh. This is uncomfortable, you know, and then
there's that word.
It's uncomfortable. So I think that had I succumbed to my fear of that moment, the fear of failure was the fear of failure in our relationship, which branched out to the impact that I know we're going to have on the community that is attracted to what we have to say.
Ooh, say that again.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was just chef's kiss.
Yeah. So I had to come to that realization and say, girl, this is bigger than that. Ooh. This is way bigger than that. So that was a fear of mine. But had I succumbed to that fear of failure in all of those many ways, we wouldn't be here having this conversation, and y'all wouldn't be able to get the gems that y'all hear and y'all resonate with. Ooh. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So I'm gonna just piggyback and double back to you. From how did you deal with that? Like, walk me through that process. Like, when that fear of failure shows up and it manifests itself, how do you approach it? What I want to know, I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger for you. I want to know what your natural reaction is, and then I want to know what your evolved reaction is, because the work is there.
Oh, girl, you know me. My natural reaction, you need to cut him. You need to cut him. Because I'm a quick ghost you. I'm a quick ghost you. I'm a say, but not quick ghost you, because I'm petty. I have to say what I have to say, and then I have to never respond after that. It's like, yeah, because you and then that's it. Even if you respond, I'm not responding myself. It's like, I said what I had to say.
You a mic drop.
Yeah, I got what I needed to get, and then I'll never talk to you again. Never talk to you again.
Okay.
That's the unhealed version of me. It's
okay.
Like, cut it. You know?
Thank God for work.
But like the evolved, healed version of me, really, I still have to have that moment, but I don't stay in that moment. Okay. So I have that, I'm never talking to you again, but I don't say it to the person. Oh. I used to say it to the person.
I used
to be like,
I like that.
It's done. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So I had that moment. I still have that fiery, feisty, I don't want to do this grit, right? And I internalized it. Sometimes I talk shit. I'm not going to lie. I got to say it, but I don't be saying it to the person again.
Listen, I'm going to talk my shit, because that's what you can't tax, okay?
Right. So I do that, and then I ask myself a question. The question is, one, what are you feeling right now? Ooh. And two, where is this feeling stemming from?
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So specifically speaking towards us, the feeling that I was feeling obviously was fearful, scared, uncomfortable, frustrated, just kind of like in this place and space. You know, sometimes there's an equal and opposite force for everything.
Tell them.
So if you find yourself in a situation where you're doing good and you're doing great and everything that you wish for, that you command to you, is coming to you, there's an equal and opposite force that is like, no, never, won't happen, ain't gonna do it, da-da-da-da-da. So I would compare it to the angel and the demon, right?
Okay.
That angel, you know, is that healed version of you.
Yes.
That devil is that one that you had to push it back. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna say that I always be on my angel time.
Don't lie. Why?
But I try to get back.
Okay.
So if I go devil, I get back to angel. I just gotta have my moment.
You gotta take it around.
Yeah.
You gotta go through the cycle.
The feelings. You know, the moon. We
Cancer.
going far. We're going far. I'm telling you, we're gonna talk about all this stuff.
A true Cancer.
The moon cycles. Wherever the moon is at, you probably know where I'm at.
Okay.
So while y'all watching, pay attention to the moon. The moon is almost full, so I'm in high energy right now.
She's about to be unhinged, guys. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna make it. I promise. But it's gonna take us some time.
The clock is striking 12. No, but so yeah, I had that moment and I said, okay, so I was feeling frustration. I was feeling uncomfortable. And then I had to, like I said, I talked to myself. I don't care. Judge your mother.
Who's saying they don't? Are we lying to ourselves?
I said judge your mother. If you're,
in the year 2024, are we lying about the fact that we all talk to ourselves?
I talk to myself, not out loud.
Okay.
But
because that's the question.
There are people that
is
don't
it out
have an
loud?
Internal dialogue.
I'm not doing that today.
Yeah, a side conversation. It's internal dialogue. Sometimes I do look in the mirror and talk to myself, but like I got to be really down a slippery slope at that point. Now I do like
is that abnormal?
Audio. I do audio diaries.
Ooh.
So I can listen back.
That's what Risa Tisa was talking about.
Yeah.
She was saying, and she said, she continued to say through the series, if y'all paid attention to the Who the Fuck Did I Marry series on TikTok with Risa Tisa, one of the things she kept coming back to was, I started to record myself.
Because
so
you got to
make
make sure, you got to make sure,
and come back to it like, okay, I want to, it's not only what am I saying or what am I thinking, but the emotions too. And that audio diary, that's really the only way to capture all of that.
Yes. So I did that, and I was like, okay, I had to go through it. Okay, I want to drop a quote for y'all about the fear of failure. You need to go through the fear to get on the opposite side of what fear is, because on the opposite side of fear is exactly what you're looking for.
Ooh.
So those things that you want in life, those things that are deep in your core, in your desire, those things are on the opposite side of fear.
Absolutely.
But in order to get to those things, if you really desire those things, you have to go through fear, not pass by it, not brush it aside, not do anything. You have to literally go into that darkness.
Cause
I
the
just
darkness,
made a post on my social media, and I was thinking about
darkness.
Everybody, y'all see everybody on the social media talk about, I'm in my villain era. I'm in my villain era.
I hate that for us.
I'm not in my villain era, baby. I'm in my darkness era.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Straight like that.
Shadows?
Let me tell you what I mean.
It felt like you was about to hop on the track.
That's what I'm saying. Think about it. I want to give you the analogy of two things. I'm going to start with the one that everybody can get and the one that's personal to me.
Okay.
When you plant a seed, it is dark. Nobody sees what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on. Only the seed, the dirt, and the universe understand what's happening. But you have to be planted in the right soil.
Come on. Come on.
And there are people that are outside of the seed, the people that water the sun, those things, those extra resources, those external things that help cultivate that seed, right? So you don't typically see people. It is abnormal when you plant a seed to go digging it up because it ain't came up yet.
Babe. Because you're talking about the things, you don't look at seeds and you're like, oh, that seed just must be broken. That seed must be stupid. That seed must not want to be great, because it's like you never ever planted a seed and been like, nothing grew. What the, like, no.
You haven't. So you have to have that same type of delicacy with yourself.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's dark, right? But after that seed has been nourished and growing in that dirt and getting all that nutrients and pulling from the sun and getting watered and getting sowed into, it eventually blooms. It becomes what it was meant to be.
A rose in the concrete.
Come on now. The second analogy that I want to give to you is the metamorphosis of a butterfly. I'm going to plug Rare Vision Life Coaching. That's my business.
Period.
Because that is the premise
Shameless
of
plug.
what I like to go on the journey with people with, right?
Okay.
So when you think about a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, you're like, yeah, right? But let's talk about the intricacies, right? The butterfly and or moth
Mm-hmm.
creates a cocoon or a chrysalis. I think that's
Chrysalis.
don't quote me.
It's a chrysalis. You got
Okay.
it. You did that.
Right? So within that, it turns into nothing.
Goo.
Blup. Like literally dies of
But it
its
can-
former self.
It keeps the same memories though.
Yeah. Y'all
Which
going
means
with
it
me?
keeps the same trauma.
No, we're not going there.
It does.
Yeah, but go with me.
Okay.
Turns into goo. All of a sudden, you getting uncomfortable.
Mm.
You got this big old body
Mhm.
coming up out of you. Your wings have formed.
Ooh.
So much so that you've grown out of this environment
Mhm.
and you gotta go fly.
Wow. Can't be where I used to be. Can't hang with who I used to hang with. Can't freak with the
Imagine
same spaces.
if a caterpillar was
I'm different.
scared to go into the cocoon or the chrysalis.
It would die.
It would die. It would never become what it was supposed to be.
Mm.
That's the word. You're not going to become what you're supposed to be or what you want to be if you don't go through the darkness of fear.
Pull yourself out of there. You
It's
have to give yourself the
hard,
opportunity.
But again, that's why I said, what is this surrounded by? What dirt do you have around you? Who's watering you? Are you being watered?
Are you being watered?
Are you getting enough sunlight?
Mm.
These are all things, and I mean it from, like, not a, like, real thing, but, like, symbolically.
Mm-hmm.
The question behind what dirt is around you is, who are your friends? Who are you spending time with? Who are you investing into, right? And are you getting water? Are your friends refilling your cup? Is your family refilling your cup? Are they affirming you? Are they making sure? So this is, everything is connected. Like, we're talking about fear of failure here, but the only way that you can get away from it is if you make sure that your environment is correct,
That's true.
that you understand what's taking place. I think the biggest thing of understanding what's taking place is knowing where you're at in life and be honest with it, even
Being
if it's
honest.
ugly.
Being honest, even with this. So I want to ask you, what on the other side of that, what opportunities have you seen when you've gone through that? More importantly, no, I know what I want to ask you. How have you dealt with the discomfort from shedding that old experience, that outer skin? When you
I
go
would say
through your
it's-
goo, what are the things that you feel like are the hardest things to deal with?
I would say it's like a tug of war, right? Because you, like you said, the memories and the trauma of that, it's still
coming
there,
with you.
that former self, right? So lately, actually, very recently, I've been having moments where I've understood that this is the moment that I have to pick a lane in the fork in the road, because I know how I want to respond. I know
You
how
think you know.
used to respond.
Okay, there we go.
But I know how
go.
I want to respond. And I have to be able to make that decision in that moment. And sometimes that's hard because, again, fear of who I am. Is this the right move?
See, for me, it's the opposite. I pause. It's not that I have to hold myself back from saying. I naturally kind of take a beat. And I've been hearing it more frequently, too, where people are like, you pause. You pause. And it's like, I haven't always been a pauser. Trust me. For a long time, I was not. But in my evolved state, I kind of got to take that moment because I feel things in my body before I understand them in my mind most of the time.
Pay attention.
And if I respond naturally from what I'm used to, then that reaction is usually visceral. It's usually very aggressive. It's very passionate, be it good or bad. And that being the key point, be it good or bad. So I've gotten in situations that I thought were going to feel really good that I didn't need to be in because I didn't take that beat. And I've been in situations that were very bad because I didn't take that beat. So either way it goes for me, I need to take kind of that, let me think, because I know I'm feeling, but let me think. And then, okay, let's come back and kind of address what's going on here and see where we are.
If I'm being honest, I haven't arrived at that point yet.
It's not always.
What it takes.
It's
for
not
me-
always.
Yeah, what it takes for me is that like there are non-negotiables from when I go from here to here.
Understand that.
And maybe it shouldn't be, but I'm just saying. Even just recently, about 3 weeks ago, somebody said or did something that I was like, oh. And I wanted to go
Right there. You
right
like, let's
there.
get it. Let's take it there. Let's take it.
I had to cut it off. I told you, my cutoff game. Cut. You need to cut it. You need to cut it. I can't do it.
You need to cut it.
Yeah, it's a difficult thing, but that's been one of my struggles, is trying to determine if I'm going to be my former self or my more evolved self.
Ooh.
And like, why is that a struggle for me? Because I want these things that come on the opposite side of it, but I've also become accustomed to who I used to be. So
I think that is a really big piece. For me, that's the evolution. It's like, I am a recovering people pleaser. So when it comes down to like that, setting those boundaries and being like, nah, I don't fit in these spaces anymore. I don't fit with these people anymore. Like, I don't have a lot of folks, so my folks is my folks, you know?
Yeah.
And so even when there have been times where it's been very obvious this relationship has run its course, like, I can't really keep doing this, or I can, but I see it's not going to get me anything. It's really, really hard for me to let that go, because I don't want to let them down. Like, even if I know you're not good for me, I still be like, but just do better. Like, just be better. Which is crazy, because what? But
I am one too, baby.
It is. I don't want to be.
Can't get it
I don't want to be. I want to be so player, but girl, be real.
Not
Like,
with me. I'm gonna put up a good fight though.
I really struggle with that, like, letting that, I just don't want to hurt them. Like, that loyalty lies deep in me, even if they hurt me.
Crazy.
But, you know, what's funny is, Candy, shout out to my therapist, she told me that is because I'm used to these patterns of love showing up, or love, for me, is very familiar in a space of, I do something, I do you a disservice, but then I grandstand, or there's some kind of grandiose overcompensation on the back end. So as long as you tell me you're sorry, like, I'm really not that mad. I am, but, like, I will convince myself I'm not as mad as I am about, or at least I used to, I should say, where I had to start standing on my 10. I had to stand on business. Right. These off-whites, these ain't no ratchets. Like, I couldn't do it no more. I had to start be like, I'm not messing with y'all behind that. I have to step back and be done with it, because I know that's a pattern for me. I know that shows up a certain way, and it's familiar, and that's why I want to stay there. So I sit in that discomfort. And I just deal with it. Like, no, I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna text them. Even if they text me, I'm not gonna text back. I'm not gonna go to that place no more, because the last time I went there, I didn't feel good. I didn't feel good about myself. I felt depleted, and I'm not trying to be in spaces that deplete me. I'm not going out to the bars and drinking all night where I wake up the next morning and I feel like shit. I'm gonna, make sure that I'm up at yoga in the morning, and I'll hit the museum, bop around, do a little bit, but I'm taking care of my body, I'm taking care of myself, and I'm surrounding myself with environments and people that do the same thing. And that is so important to me that it's important enough for me to set that boundary. Because when I sit there, then it's like, it's me or it's you.
That's the real
and
shit.
It's got to be me. Like, it's got to be me at the end of the day. Like, I'm not gonna, so I'm trying to stand on my 10 more. But, yeah, that discomfort is real. Trying to, like, ooh, I loved you for so long, but I can't no more. Like, I still love you. But, yeah, that's really, really hard to deal with. So, I don't know, friend. It's hard. It's hard. Growth and evolution is difficult. Girl. It really is. But still we ride.
I understand, child. You ain't gotta
too
tell
much
me.
in code. They say we talking too much in code, baby. What you need to hear?
What do the
How
people
can I
want
put
to
it
hear?
in
What the
layman's
folks gotta
terms?
say? What they gotta say?
Oh my goodness.
I think we should definitely we gotta come back in this. We gotta
take a breather.
We gotta.
Okay.
We gotta bring it down. Let y'all get y'all. Y'all said we talking in code.
Okay. We gonna get it.
Bring it down. Everybody take a deep breath. Recenter. Go get your.
Okay,
your
get yourself
vices.
a little, your libations,
get
your funds, and then we'll come back and get into a little bit more on fear and what that looks like. Show up for yourself.
Show up for yourself, for sure. Even in this moment. Like, because
today. Block them today.
That was weighty. I need a woosah.
Mm-hmm.
I need a woosah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Block them today. Delete their number now. And you know who you are.
Oh. Don't be calling people out.
It's at least one of them.
This the first time they met us. Some of them.
What they used to say, throw a rock and hit a nigga. I made that up. Oh, okay.
Baby. Pray for us.
Oh my gosh.
We're trying to do the Lord's work, not the devil's.
Listen, we're doing the work. We're doing the work on ourselves. I can't do everybody else's work for them. And that's why I'm working on boundaries.
Yeah.
That's
All right,
why I'm
friend.
working on it.
We gonna get back to it.
Mm.
We are back.
We are back.
And we had our little moment.
We did.
We
had
talked
to.
about the tough stuff. Now let's get to the goodies.
What's on the other side, friend?
So the other side of fear, because we was talking about how to get through it.
Yes.
Now let's talk about how we do it.
Ooh,
So
it's
for
my
me
favorite part.
personally, the other side of fear has really grew me up. Not even gonna lie.
That's real.
The biggest thing that I want to highlight about the other side of fear is I gained emotional intelligence.
Tell me
And
what that
maturity.
is. I wanna just real quick pause. Can you define emotional intelligence for our audience?
So, in my words,
Mhm.
and you guys feel free to look up what you want to look up, but in my words, emotional intelligence is being able to be first aware of your own feelings
Mm-hmm.
and being able to, what's the word I'm looking for?
Identify.
Regulate
Ooh,
those feelings.
cause baby.
Once you get past that, there's another step to emotional intelligence, which is being aware of other people's feelings and being able to regulate theirs as well as yours. So I feel you getting hot, I feel you getting tense, and I can
Mm-hmm.
bring it down, and we can get to the grit.
Yeah.
I haven't got there yet.
You do good though.
I
see
try.
you. I see the growth. You do.
I
You
try.
do good,
I haven't got there yet. I think my kids really do
baby.
the foundational work of that.
You want to talk about patience?
Patience is another thing I gained through the opposite side of fear because, again,
Yes.
going back to the analogy of the seed, the butterfly, there is a time span that they don't get to be what they are. So,
Okay.
patience has been something that I learned. Grace
Ooh.
for myself. Not being so hard on myself. Giving myself positive affirmations. Making sure I'm speaking highly of myself and not having negative self-talk because that plays its role. I also have been able to really kind of embrace my friendships and relationships a lot more better.
Yes.
Because before, like I said, you need to cut it. I don't really do that. I feel the song in my head and I say, you know what, that's the same grace that I'm giving myself, I could give to. I think we talked about it.
We did.
We did talk about it. I'm going to tell y'all, I'm going to give y'all it. So, again, notoriously me, I'm a person on time, policies and procedures.
Whew.
So, we were originally supposed to record on Friday, guys. And I double booked myself. I was in acting class. I've been busy. And I'm like, oh, my God.
She never does this.
Never.
She never does this.
So, I'm like, in my head, I'm telling you behind the scenes that she can give you her interpretation.
I will.
But I was like, oh, I can't miss this acting class. Like, I paid for it. Like, it's not refundable. So I'm just like in my head, and I'm like, I get in a text message, and I'm like, hey, y'all, I am so sorry. But is there a earlier time that we can do this? Because I have double booked myself. And I was like really beating myself up about it. Like, girl, you be on people's head. You be yes, because you be on people's head. You be telling them they gotta do. Because I remember I said we can't cancel unless somebody is dying. Like that's how serious
She did verbatim, like to my face, and then looked like, cause girl, you, and I was like, somebody might die. I don't know.
But I had to say it to her because that's the type of stuff you gotta say to her.
It
like,
is.
You don't have to say that to me because I think everything is important.
Which,
Problem.
ooh, baby, I was like, life
So
happens.
I was like, dang, I just built this up, and I'm the person that's rescheduling. So I'm like, oh my God. So everybody responds, and it was like 3 days that was gave out.
Nobody died.
I was like, I can do Wednesday, and she was like, oh, Wednesday's not gonna work, and I was like, oh my God, like
Booked and busy. You heard?
I was like internal panicking. Side story that I've learned more grace with my relationships.
Ooh, and shout out to our producer Don, because he absolutely kept us at homeostasis because it was hectic. She
There's
responded, I didn't.
Guys,
we were
energy
like,
that's just naturally calm.
It is.
Shout out to guys for being able to hold that. Like, y'all do a really good job at
they are who you want to do business with.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that guys, I don't want to say guys don't feel emotions. I know that guys feel emotions, but they do a really good job of just poker facing it.
Keeping
and
it
just
still.
making it just, so what's the problem?
Foundational energy.
Fix it.
Love
Fix
that.
It. Yeah. Men are from, what is it? Men are from Mars and women are from Venus.
Honey.
You guys should read that book. It gives you a lot of insight.
It is very true. We have rings and Venus be spinning.
Okay. Because he was just like, no problem. Everything's fine.
It's
Great.
fine.
Here it is.
We're like, oh.
Do it.
The world's not
Then
burning.
He's like sending us reminder texts like, y'all good? Like, yes, we're good. Thank you for keeping us on track.
Wow. Yes.
But yeah, that's what it's been able to afford me, some grace for everybody. A lot of compassion too.
Compassion. That's a big one.
I have experienced a lot of, really weighty, emotionally heavy things over the last couple of months. I won't go into detail, but it has been something that's been really impactful to my life. And in those high states of emotions, I had to exercise emotional intelligence. I didn't always hit the mark sometimes, but within the dynamics, because it was with people that are close to me, things were going on. Within those dynamics, I came from a place of understanding. Instead of being like, well, this is how it's affecting me, I was like, okay. I had some real hard conversations. Still having hard conversations. But that's a part of the process. And the process never ends, guys. And I don't mean to say that in a scary way. I just mean to say it in a way that prepares you, because you're going to keep on living. You're going to keep on growing. You're going to keep on evolving.
Always.
The difference between us and some animals, I don't know all animals, but I'm not that. But, is that we can always evolve into something different.
Ooh.
We can think about what we did, and like you said, we can pivot.
Yeah.
We can shift. We don't have to be, once we make a decision. Now, I'm not telling you, look me in my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you to just be out here willy-nilly, abruptly changing your mind.
You have to pick a course.
But we are allowed to change our mind.
What a beautiful thing.
After, reflection,
Yes, and within our lives.
It doesn't have to be definite. Nothing about our lives are definite. The only thing that's definite, and that's how I'm not even going to say it because I don't believe it. But yeah. That's what it is. What have you learned from?
Oh my goodness, so much.
What's on the other side of fear, friend?
Ooh, on the other side of fear, I really love what you said about being showing up in my relationships differently. I was telling you about setting those boundaries and how in the space of losing people that it was kind of uncomfortable to lose. I appreciate the people that are in my life so differently. And
I was able to feel that.
Yeah. Oh.
I was. Because, we have that moment between us where I'm like, this girl do not fuck with me.
Which is a common consensus. I'm a Scorpio. The energy kind of just gives nonchalant. Like, niggas want you to be chalant.
But she had a vulnerable moment, and she was expressing, you know what? I think we had that moment too, this is about to be a little sensitive.
Don't make me cry.
I'm not trying to, but this is where we're at. We had that moment where my granny died. And then I remember you had that moment, right? And you called me back and was like, girl, I don't even feel like I was there enough like I needed to be. And I was like, it's all good. It's all good. Because that's the thing, we're all going through something. And that compassion, when you're able to unlock that, things get easier.
And I mean that very much, because when you show up and you're more intentional in your relationships, you start to. I am not really an empath naturally. I'm actually very, very good about not. She is.
I can feel everything.
There can only be one.
Don't talk. I can read your energy.
I'm very good about not take. I have enough anxiety in my own life, so I'm very good about not taking the energy of other people on and their emotions, which is why I think a piece of the reason that I can come off cold and detached is because there's some chemistry there in being able to read people's energy, and most of the people I'm around are empaths.
Yeah.
So
do you usually attract that?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. And so it's like, well, what's up with you? Like,
What's
what's up with
deal?
you? Because I'm very private in my energy and my emotions a lot of the times, or at least my unhealed version. So when I started to be more intentional in those relationships, it became a very emotional practice. Like I find myself, which I mean, with my kids, it's something I do all the time where I just look at them and be like, I love you. But I'm doing that with friends, and I've never been that person.
No, you
it's
haven't.
like, I like, we cool.
She didn't even want to call nobody
we
sis.
cool.
Like, be for real. She was like, I got blood sisters. You ain't nothing to me. Like, whoa, girl.
I swear. Like, we're cool. We're friends. We're good. Like, what else do you? I'm not like a reassuring. If we're talking, you should know we cool. So, and that's not fair. So, like, that has been the biggest thing for me. The other thing that I've seen is my confidence. And I was talking in the beginning, like, I'm very confident in myself and my ability to do things. But when you finally take that jump and you do something and you have those credentials to back it up.
Ooh, come on, credentials.
You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, I keep forgetting that I wrote a book because it was something that I did almost dissociated. Like it was so much going on at the time. It came from pain. So there was so much going on that I really wasn't trying to even do it. It just was born, and then it turned into something, and there was so much other stuff going on that I kind of just kept going. But that is something that I can't discredit. Like I did that, and I've seen the people that got help from that. And
that was you going through the darkness.
And hearing that from people. And it's always funny because until you take that step, you really don't know who your fan base is. You really don't know who's out there waiting on you to show up, because the people that came back and were like, I needed this, was nobody I was expecting.
And outside of that too, like not outside of that, but in addition to that, you begin to attract those things towards you.
Yes.
Like think about the podcast. We look at where we're at.
Exactly.
You start to bring that energy. Everything what is the saying? There's a saying where energy flows, something goes. I'm sorry, but it's a really good one.
But you're right. That so you have to begin to go back into those spaces, like or those spaces start to occur for you. I literally posted something today on my Instagram that was like, sit in your room and create.
I saw that.
And you'll be invited into other rooms for what you produce, or something to that effect. Like just do the thing, and then that energy that you're putting out into the world is always going to be attracted to you. So that was like, again, that came from pain. I wasn't doing that like I'm just going to go for it. It just happened. And then after that was, some other stuff that came, but just showing up and seeing how good that made me feel, and that reflection in the experiences I was having, it becomes easier. It becomes like riding a bike.
Hearing you say that, it's a beautiful thing.
She knows. It's been a long time.
I'm saying it's a beautiful thing because, sometimes we're not even consciously going into our path. Sometimes we are not conscious of it. That disruptive behavior, that makes you want to
self-sabotage.
That self-sabotage and stuff. That's all a part of being in your alignment with who you are. You just don't recognize it. So I want to bring recognition to that person out there that's listening, and you're in some mud, you're in some grit, you at the bottom, now we here. Stick with this, babe. You might not feel like it's comfortable, you might not like it, you might not want anything to do with it, but just know that this is a stepping stone for your greatness. And you're listening to this and you're hearing this and it's resonating with you.
That's for a reason. That's for a reason. This is the time you don't stop.
Yep.
This is the time you see it through. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
Yeah, it's time.
It's time.
So, what's that? The ambition audit?
Oh, girl, let's give it to them, because we always got to leave you with a little bit of homework, baby. You ain't getting that. You can have some things to think about, but you got some work to do.
Disclosure, because we didn't tell y'all in the beginning. If you come to this podcast, you're gonna have to deal with yourself.
I mean,
hello.
It's only so much looking in the mirror you can do before you start to look at how you could do a little bit better. And this is your soul's mirror.
Yeah. Ambition audit for you guys is to, I'm going to keep it simple.
Okay.
Within this week, upcoming week,
okay,
be very aware of yourself and what's going on, and recognize when you are experiencing fear. That's it. That's all. Keep a journal, write it, whatever you need to do to keep a track record of it. Do that. And then after you're comfortable with that, figure out where it's coming from.
Ooh.
And then once you perfect that,
you gonna give them more?
I gotta give them steps.
Okay.
You can come back and listen to it. You can come back and listen
Play
to
it back.
Play it back.
Okay.
That's because we gotta talk about it.
I love it.
So after you perfect that, once you figure out where it's at, you need to be able to understand that this is the impediment that's stopping you from getting exactly what you want.
Remember.
And move differently.
Ooh, and please tell us about your experience. You can follow us because
DM us on Queens Arsenal. We got the Instagram.
I think we can leave it there. Yes. So please give us the information. Hit us on Instagram, Queens Arsenal. You can find us both. You want to drop your personal?
Yes. So I got two for you guys. Me _ Mariah. That is my personal page. If you want to be connected with me and everything about me, mostly. Follow that. I also have my business page for life coaching. As I said, I am a certified life coach. That is Rare Vision LLC, and those are on all streaming or all social medias. Okay. Yep. So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you can find me there. I also have a website for Rare Vision LLC. It is rarevisionllc.com. So you can check out that.
Check it out. Yeah. And I am the Mercurial Millennial. Google me. You're going to have to for the spelling. Yes, you can find my page. Again, follow the Queens Arsenal page as well. We will be posting content because we're not just going to give you action steps and walk away. You'll see a little bit of help. You'll have some resources on the page. So please tune in. We love a resource. So tune into us there. Absolutely. And please make sure to follow Jungle Juice Network. Thank you so much again to our producer, Don, for putting this together.
Friend.
Yes, ma'am.
Hold my hand. We just did something.
We stepped on the other side of fear.
And living proof, y'all. It's been real. I love y'all.
We'll see you back.